This video is about desires. Why is it important to let the desires emerge? And I will start with a text that I'm gonna read for you, and that I invite you to listen with your eyes closed, relaxed, if you can also with the headphones, so that you can let the words come in and sink, and I will see you afterwards. Let the desires emerge. The importance of being in contact with our desires is greatly underevaluated. Often seen as a luxury that you need to earn, desires are experienced as frivolous, decorative, unimportant, and irrelevant. My claim is that the desires are a doorway to our deepest essence and potential, and as such deserve attention, care, and the opportunity to develop and grow. The perspective I'm offering here looks at desires as a way to manifest your power, to assert what you want and embrace your potential to realize it. Desire is not just frivolous pleasure. Think of the desire to have a child, to meet your soulmate, to earn a living, putting your talent to good use. These are just examples of desire many have and struggle with. The reason we struggle is that we don't have the realization of desire in our life. But the reason we really struggle is that we cannot let go of the desire. The reason we cannot let go of our deepest desires is that they are merely a manifestation of our deepest nature and most precious essence. In light of these, you cannot consider desires as frivolous or unimportant. Now you know why you desire and why it is so important for you to do so with more and more passion and energy. What you may have noticed relating to your desires is that they tend to get blocked. The most common misunderstanding about what blocks our capability to realize our desires is that the blocks are outside of us and therefore out of our control. What is absolutely true is that what is outside of ourselves is out of our control and difficult to impossible to change. What is also true and very important is that the real blocks to the development of our desires are inside of us. When I talk about blocks inside of us, I'm talking about the way we think, what we believe, and how this makes us feel, the person we become when we believe what we believe. You can say that what you believe about what is possible, reasonable, within your reach, determines what you achieve, what you manage to create in your life. The first important step is acknowledging that the reality we are living now has been created by what we currently believe. You may react negatively to this statement. I understand that. So did I when I first heard it. At the time, I was thinking, this is not what I want, so it cannot be created by me. Only later I realized that I was creating my current situation not only with what I wanted, but mainly with what I believed was possible for me, within my reach. It was painful at first realizing that I didn't really believe to deserve much. Then I started to forgive myself for the painful beliefs that had grown in my mind. And by accepting what was, I could start to heal. This is so incredibly important and often overlooked. The first step is acknowledging what is, right now. Especially if it stinks, it's important to see it clearly and call it with its name. It is the same as doing a diagnosis to be then able to start a cure. What is required of you is to become intimate with yourself, accepting and embracing everything that you will find in the process. The price at the end of this difficult journey is reconnecting with your most pure essence and creative power, accessing the pleasure of life at its finest. The short answer to the question, how do you create in your life what you desire, is simply making intimate contact with your inner power, exploring the extension of what is possible, and massage the boundaries of what you believe is normal and possible, moving gradually towards what is believable, acceptable, to finally reach the radical and the unthinkable. Now you have heard a bit about a different perspective on how to look at desires, and what I would like to offer is few activities that you can do to expand your ability to perceive your desire, to explore this dimension, this area in your life where your desires are, seeing that it can connect you with the essence of your most pure self. And to do that, the first thing I would like to do is to guide you through a meditation, a visualization. And this is meant to help you relax into the perception of your desire. If you're already comfortable with perceiving your desire, that's going to be just a nice addition to it. So let's just relax. I'll guide you through this visualization and I will see you afterwards. This is a guided meditation to become the designer, architect, and engineer of your desired situation. Make yourself as comfortable as possible and start to relax. Find a comfortable position to sit in and take the time to soften, open up, and unwind. Go to that place in yourself where you already start to feel relaxation and allow yourself to let go. At your own time and in your own way. As your breathing starts to slow down and a calm feeling takes over, let go of everything that is not relevant to this adventure you are undertaking in the here and now. Let go of all the thoughts that are not pertinent to designing your desired situation. Let go of the emotions, the thoughts, the to-do lists, the tensions in your body. Meet yourself in that place in yourself where you are in contact with your breathing, where your attention is turned towards the inside and you feel safe, relaxed, and taken care of. With every breath you take in, you feel universal love entering in your body. With every breath out, you feel the heaviness leaving your system. You are ready to design, architect, and engineer the next phase in your life. You are now ready to see what your next step is. Using your powerful imagination, move with your consciousness to a time in the near future, not far from where you are now, where you wake up after a long night of good sleep and you are now in your desired situation. You have managed
You did it. You have achieved that you had planned, that you wanted. You have done everything that was necessary to get to the situation you wanted to be in. You are now there. Look around. What do you notice? What comes up? Take the time to become more aware of yourself in this situation. Your desired situation. What do you notice? What comes up? Observe how you behave. How is that different? Why are you now behaving differently if you are? What do you notice? What comes up? And how do you look at your environment? What has changed? What do you notice in the inner dialogue with yourself, your thinking, now in this new situation? What do you notice? What comes up? How do you feel? What has changed in the way you feel? What is now the dominant emotion you experience? What do you notice? What comes up? Stay with this feeling. Let it expand. You may even remember having felt like this in the past. What do you notice? What comes up? What do you see in this new situation? What image do you associate to this desired situation? What do you notice? What comes up? If you bring your attention to your body, where can you feel the most this emotion that you are experiencing right now? What do you notice? What comes up? How do other people react to you now that you have changed? How do you feel different in contact with others? What do you notice? What comes up? How does this change plays a role with regards to your purpose in life? What do you notice? What comes up? You have now explored your new reality, your realized goal, where you are now. Allow yourself to settle in this new normal, this future you are now in. this future where your desired situation is a reality you achieved. And realize that from here you can look back and show the self in the present the way to get here. So you can, from where you are now in the future, look back to yourself in the present. Yourself in the present that as having difficulties, the things you were struggling with. And you can look with a smile at this because you are now in the future where you feel good because you made it. As you smile to the self in the present, you can show yourself and reveal who you are, that you are in the future, that you made it, and that you wait with open arms for the self in the present to reach you. Actually, you have also good tips and suggestions for the one in the present on how to get to the future where you're in now. And you can notice how the tips and suggestions are received by the one in the present. You notice that as you make clear that you are in the future waiting with open arms, the self in the present already feels stronger. You can clearly show the way to get to the place in the future where you already are, to the situation that is desired in the present. You have the experience and the wise advice for the self in the present to come exactly where you are now in the future, where the desired situation is successfully designed, architected, and engineered. You can show the way and notice the positive feelings this gives to the self in the present that now can safely and full of energy starts the journey towards the desired situation. This way, the self in the present can realize that in the future someone is waiting with open arms, so that the self in the present can realize deep inside that in the future there is already someone that has achieved what is now desired. Someone made it and is waiting with open arms. There is a way that has been laid for you already. It is safe, it is done, and this makes you feel strong and confident in the present. You feel this presence around you that is reassuring and guiding you towards your desired situation. You feel strong, just as strong as the one in the future. Take the time to stay and ground this feeling. And when you have experienced everything that is necessary to feel more and more grounded, safe, and strong in order to move surely towards the desired situation, then you can open your eyes and come back from your inner world all the way to the outside world. And when you're back, notice how you feel right now.
Well, now that you have experienced yourself, have done this journey inside of yourself, the first thing I would like to ask you is to take pen and paper and to write. Write everything that stayed with you after this experience, everything that comes up as a result of doing this experience, everything really that you feel it's going through your head at this moment. And take really the time to do that. So by all means, stop the video for as long as you need to write down. What you have now is a treasure in knowledge about yourself, about your inner world and the relationship with your desire. So just milk it and put it down on paper before you forget it, because that's inevitable. Just as when we wake up with a dream, if we don't fix it down on a piece of paper, it's really quickly gone. So take the time and post the video. You went through quite a journey. You listened to a powerful text, and then you went through quite a deep visualization, and you explored your inner world with regards to your desire, and then you also wrote down everything about it, everything that came up, and you're already in a really deep place, really deeply in contact with your desire. And what I would like to do with you is to go a couple of steps forward, to go even deeper and to get even more concrete about what you can do with your desire. So there's few questions I would like you to let yourself get triggered by this question, and every question, after every question, feel free to pause the video to take the time to answer this question. It may feel like a bit of a more solitary journey than normal in comparison with the other session I've done, but it's so important and it's so powerful, and at the end the desire is something really intimate, really. I cannot possibly even give example on what your desire may have let emerged in you. But I would love for you to send me a message with how was your experience doing this journey. Let's go back to the question. The first question is, what makes that desire so attractive? You can think of one desire that emerged in particular, or the most important, the most fascinating, the one you keep thinking about, and ask yourself, what makes that desire so attractive? Just write down what comes up. Let's be surprised by what emerges when you answer these questions. The second question is, what would be different in your life when this desire becomes reality? Well, this is not just a simple question. You can really look at your whole life and imagining your desire becoming realized, and looking at how everything would be impacted, and describe it, and realize while describing it, while writing it down, what the whole little implication would be of your desire being realized. What would change? All the positive changes, all the changes that are a bit you didn't really think about when you formulated your desire. Just work with it and see what comes up. The third question is, how does the absence of your realized desire affect your life right now? What are the consequences for you right now in your current situation of the fact that your desire is not realized yet? And again, take a wider look at the situation and see all the implications. Then the fourth question is, what do you need to realize your desire? And when you look at this, I invite you to consider both internal resources like personality, skills, knowledge, as well as your external resources, that is time, money, people in your environment, things you may have, machines, electronica that you may have that may be useful or necessary to work towards your desire. And consider, what do you need, and of what do you need, what do you have, and what do you need to acquire or develop. The fifth question is, what is in the way of you realizing your desire? And you have already learned how important beliefs are in blocking the realization of a desire. So you can look at this question really as a way to become more aware of one or more beliefs that are actually blocking. And you can look simply at what you think is blocking you on a practical level, and realizing that that could be just a belief. That you have not enough time, not enough money, that you don't have the right connection, that you are not suited for. Whatever you think it's the blockage, you can turn it around and realize my beliefs that I don't have enough time is blocking me. My beliefs that I don't have enough money is blocking me. My beliefs that I miss something, it's blocking me. The next activity and last activity for this video that I would like to invite you to do is a kind of a writing exercise, really. But eventually you can also do it orally, just recording maybe what you would write. And the idea is that you describe the situation you would like to be in. And as simple as that, you describe your desire and you start from what you believe is normal. So somehow you start from your current situation, how things are now, in the direction of what you want. Let's say focusing on the positive. So let's say that you would like to have a relationship, a romantic relationship, and you do not have it right now. You start describing everything that you see as positive at the current moment. That maybe there is enough time gone by between now and the last relationship, so you feel you're ready. Maybe that the rest of your life is in order in a way that you really feel that a relationship is perfect for you at the moment. So focus on the positive, on what now you feel as normal and welcoming of your desire. That's the first version of the story. Pause the video by all means and do that and write down this story. The second version of the story is what is possible. So for instance, if we stick to the example of wanting a relationship, you could say what is now possible and really look at what gives you pleasure, what is your desire, what is now possible, and think like I could go to events for single people, or I could ask a good friend to match me up with someone. Everything that you feel it's something you would do gladly, that you see within your reach, and that can change. So make it really personal and write down the possibility, what you feel it's possible in your current situation with regards to your desire. And again, pause the video and write down, take your time. The next version of the story is what is believable. And for instance, you may consider believable that you meet someone, and you could describe how you see that believable, the way you would meet someone in a believable way, and the kind of person that you can believe that you could meet and have a relationship with. Just take some time and describe, and be as really look for the boundaries of what you feel it's possible. And again, pause the video if you pause the video and take some time to write this down. the next version of your story, it's gonna go towards what's acceptable, an acceptable expansion. So look at what you considered believable and expand it a little bit. And stretch out on things you may feel are just outside of what you think is believable, and try to massage that boundary a little bit to describe what would be an acceptable expansion of that believable. And take some time and stretch yourself and notice there may be little thing that you have not dared to write until now, but now we are stretching a bit the description of our desire and we are daring to see a bit farther. So see what is acceptable as an expansion of what you believe it's possible. And when you're back from there, we're gonna go radical. If you could dream radical with regards to your desire, what would it be? How would it look like? And play with it, write it down, speak it in a dictaphone. Go a bit wild with radical. And maybe our desires, you may find desires that are not things you stand behind 100%, but are things that could be fun. Just stretch a little bit. Just see what comes up. Take inspiration from people you may admire from the distance and never dare to compare yourself with. And the last step is unthinkable. Go unthinkable. What is unthinkable? And go wild. I don't dare to suggest examples here because I don't want to confuse you, but just stretch yourself to the unthinkable and describe what it would look like if your desire was to be realized in an unthinkable way, moving up this scale of possibilities. You open up to freedom, really. And the reason to do that is to expand, to train your muscle of desiring, and by doing so, coming closer and closer to aspect of yourself, really intimate aspect of yourself. These, now that you have gone all the way to the unthinkable, you may experience a different, in a different way, what is possible and normal right now. When you go so farther in expanding your freedom, you expand also what is possible, what is normal. So use this exercise also in that way, and you can repeat it as much as you want with different desires. So that was it. I hope you managed to enjoy experiencing more and more of your desire with these activities.